Hey, my fellow NHLers, welcome back to another Hut episode. It's your friend Ebbs and Flows here. We're going to have a pack opening. It's the 42-player rare mega pack, the $30 pack. So a lot of bread being thrown down on that. Also, we have 2 games in store, 2 highlights for you, so that will be cool. As I mentioned before, we did become a top 100 player pretty recently. If you want to go check our grind of the top 100, we completed that, so that's really cool. If you're interested, go check it out. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, it's Ebbs and Flows NHL. Those are both the handles for both of those networks, so check them out. I always put up pictures of if I open cool packs or play a great player, I'll throw it up there. So follow me there and like and subscribe, of course, here. Anyway, let's get into our pack opening. Back into Hut. We have a 42 player rare pack like I mentioned. This is the second one in about 3 weeks. I know that one came out or came available about a week or 2 ago, and boys, we have not been fortunate in these pack openings again. Not to spoil it before we get to the very end here, but it's every player is 85 or less. I'm sure you feel my pain, you Hut players out there who have opened packs and haven't gotten much. Regardless of how good my team is, I really haven't pulled too much in packs this year. It's really, really low, and I hate to complain about this game because it's my favorite. No, not complaining about the gameplay or skill zone or anything like that. This is my favorite game of all time. Love this game, obviously. I think you have to become a top 100 player, right? So enough about tooting my horn. We get nothing in that pack, fellas. Really unfortunate. I'm sorry I couldn't bring you a good pack opening, but it's as you know, it's luck, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Hasn't been going our way lately. Let's get into the gameplay, which we can control, and what we're actually good at. So, as you can see, Pavelski kind of gets his own rebound there off the shot, and threw it backside to Mr. Stamkos. Hopefully he gets better soon. If you haven't heard, Stamkos does have a blood clot in his arm and won't be playing in the playoffs this year, which sucks. Love to see a great player play, and unfortunately he's going to be out. Regardless, though, he's still in on our team and killing it. So, as you can see there, great give and go from Pavelski and Sidney. Sidney over to Pavelski, Pavelski back to Crosby, and he finishes 2-0 early in the first, and that was shorthanded. Again, we're still shorthanded. We don't cut away, so you know something's going to happen, and there you go. Mr. Stamkos still killing it in Hut, regardless of regular, real-life NHL. Poor guy. So, shorthanded again. We get a great goal. And that's going to pretty much do it, boys. He's not having it anymore. I think we went 3 for 7 on shots. He got 1 shot in that first period. Didn't even make it through the first, and we pull a quitter. So not bad. We'll take the win, right? Easy highlights, easy goals, easy win. Moving on to that second player. What's funny is if you look at my record here after that quit, it didn't update. It gives you the loss, and then I think this year for Xbox One, they kind of comb over it and see what happened. I remember in Xbox, regular Xbox, that would happen a lot where people would quit and the other person would get a loss, or the person who quit would get a win, crazy stuff like that. I think that's only happened 1 time, tops, maybe twice this year out of all the games I've played. So that will actually update after this second game. Let's get into the second game. Playing a pretty good player here. He's top 1,500. His team doesn't seem to be that good, but I think he has a lot of team of the week type players like that. Daniel Backus obviously starting for him. Daniel Backus wasn't playing like a regular Daniel Backus, so that's why I say that. Anyway, working it around to the point, we throw it over, and Backstrom, Mr. 19, tips it in for us. This kid's playing skill zone real hard, so luckily we got a good tip in there. It's rough playing kids with that skill zone. You really got to work it around and just hope for a good shot. Unless you can unless they do switch to a player on you, you can give them a quick turn and get inside on them. But it's tough sledding when you play players like that. Anyway, 1-0 at the end of the first, and unfortunately for us, there's no highlights for the second because there were no goals. I love to show you guys just the meat and potatoes of the game. The goals is what I'm getting at. And the stats, of course. So 6-5 in shots after 2 periods of play. Really tough sledding against the skill zone trap type player. He's a top 1,500 guy, so he's pretty good, but we're just coming off playing regular NHL. We just played the 35th kid in the world. Like I mentioned earlier, I put that up on Instagram, which was cool because it was my first game back from vacation. If I didn't mention earlier, I didn't upload more than one video last week because I was on vacation since Thursday, so you can expect more than one video usually per week from this channel, which is pretty cool. Anyway, getting into the third period here, boys, we play very aggressive, and we keep it in, and clapping one, and I think Crosby tipped it in, I believe. It kind of looked like it just went bar down from Subban, but it looks like Crosby tipped that in. So great goal. We lay out there fishing it, and he tries to go backside, but we poke it away before he can do it. Stammer coming in, left, right, snipe, there we go, baby. A little cross, not a cross crease shot, but a little slot shot across the goalie's mask, going blocker side, top left corner from the right-handed Stammer, making it 3-0, putting this game way out of reach. Not even close, even though the stats were pretty close. 3-0 victory for us. Our opponent hung in there. He does send us a message. I'm not going to bother opening it on the video. I mean, we don't message him back because it's just not worth our time. You know, we're a top player. We're kind of above that in a way, not to sound, you know, elitist or whatever you want to call it, but this kid's complaining about my team is what he was doing, just to let you in on it, and I have nothing to say to that. I mean, you can watch YouTube videos from Bacon and all these dudes who play, you know, like with 95 plus players. And, you know, our team's like, you know, pretty much everyone's over a 90 or above, but no one's above like a 93 or a 94. So, you know, I think it's pretty fair or relatively close when we play people with the type of team that we have compared to other teams. Anyway, so I don't want to get into that too much, even though this kid's whining about it. But anyway, I wanted to show you the two records I played, or two opponents' records I played. The first kid was 3,000 something, so I don't want to get into it. But the second kid, like I said, was a top 1,500 player. He had a pretty good record, 255 and 84, not bad at all. That's over 300 games played or so. So pretty good record, regardless of the hate message, you know. Anyway, getting into our ranking, how funny, 2,500 something, even though we're a top 100 player in actual NHL where all things are fair, right? Anyway, boys, I wanted to show you my team. I wanted to get some suggestions from you. I've mentioned this before in Hut videos, but I really love one of you to throw a freaking message up there so I can try something out and give you some good feedback. Be a good YouTube channel type person, you know. So not to beg for your comments, but I mean, someone recommend like not so much a defenseman here on the third line. I just wanted to show that's one position I'm looking at switching, but the main position I'm looking at switching is Seguin on that right wing, or finding a new third line left wing or a new third line center. Pavelski's been pretty solid, so I don't want to change out center too much, but that third line left wing or the second line right wing is really what I'm looking at. Sagan's on that right wing. I'd love to replace him with a different playmaker, preferably right-handed, maybe a different two-way forward, maybe a Hossa. I don't think he's right-handed, unfortunately, or a different left wing who's a playmaker, or a two-way forward. Fellas, let me know. I'd love to try someone that you use on your team who you love, you know, one of those players you just can't get away from, something like that. Anyway, fellas, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It helps me a ton. Of course, I'll keep making them regardless, so please tune in later this week. I will have more Hut videos. I'll probably record again tonight, so look for tomorrow for a new video, either on Hut or possibly the Grind, most likely Hut. I know you boys like the packs. I know you boys like the Hut. Anyway, fellas, thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, take care.